Let me just sneak in here and show you my pajamas. Yes, I know I look very comfy, and I'm very comfy for a reason, because we are doing a cozy little nighttime bullet journal session. I am going to be setting up my August bullet journal spreads, and I just had the itch to do these on this random night where I felt really cozy, and I just wanted to sit down and get some like nice vibes going and do my bullet journal spreads for the month ahead. So let's get into it. As you know, I'm using my Archer and Olive A5 dotted notebook as usual, and the actual inspiration for these spreads, so the themes for August, are actually fountain pens, because I recently came into possession of two amazing fountain pens and this Uniball gel pen. Anyway, I'm obsessed with both these fountain pens. I've talked endlessly about that retractable clicky fountain pen from Writech, and recently I also got this Pilot Kakuno fountain pen, which I am so obsessed with as well. So I'm going to be using those as well as some fine liners to do this very simple, cute ribbon black and white theme for my spreads for August. If you're new here, August is actually my birth month, so I always try to do a really nice, fun, enjoyable theme for my month because I'm a Leo. So that's what we're going with. So I started off by just drawing out the calendar for August here on my first page, which is my monthly spread. And I'm just drawing it out with a fine liner. I tend to prefer using one of these like 0.5mm fine liners to do a lot of the line work, just because they glide on the page a lot nicer and I can get really consistent lines with them. And then I switched over to my fountain pen. I'm using the Pilot Kakuno one for a lot of the text and a lot of the titles that I'm going to be writing in this month. It glides on the paper like butter. So I was actually I was trading actually at a stationery fest here in the UK the other day, and one of the people who I was talking to actually recommended this pen to me, and I, at the same event, saw that someone was actually selling them, so I got one right on the spot, and they were right. These kind of really eat. As you can see here, I'm just drawing out my title, my August title, in this cute little font that I saw on Pinterest that looks like ribbons, and I kind of used this picture I saw on Pinterest as reference for this font, really. So I can't take credit for this exact font, but I wanted everything to be ribbon themed, and yeah, I just really enjoy this font I saw. Like I said, this pen glides like butter and it is amazing. Like, you won't really understand until you try one. It's really nice. And I got one in two different sizes. This is actually the medium tip, but they also have a fine tip and a extra fine tip, I'm pretty sure. But this person at the festival, the stationery festival, actually told me that they tend to run finer than you'd think, the nibs, so that's why I went for the medium and the fine, because the medium is like the usual nib that I'm used to. So yeah, I just kind of went around the page and added some ribbon designs into all of the little areas that I knew were going to be empty, and used the fountain pen as well to add some cute little shading, very like light hatching with the fountain pen, and it all looked so cute. Very monochromatic, very like inky and cool. Then of course I had to add some little sparkles here and there as well. It's like I can't really do anything in my bullet journal without adding some sparkles, as you all may know. So I used my fountain pen for those as well. And then I went in with some of my zebra mild liners and some other gray pens that I have to add some smaller details like the days of the week, and then some little dots as well to add the days of the month into them. And I also forgot to mention this, but I am also using this really cool Ohuhu dual tip dot pen in gold. And I'm using the fine liner end of the dual dot pen to add some really cute little pops of gold on my spread. So it's not all just black and white, there's a little bit of gold and stuff like that. I really like this as a gold pen, really nice. And yeah, this is sort of the vibe that I'm going for the rest of my spreads. So with my monthly spread done, let's head over to the next double page, which is my trackers. So if you haven't seen my setup for this year, my bullet journal setup video, you'll see that all of my habits trackers are actually on the same double page spread right at the beginning of my bullet journal. So I don't have my habits trackers in every monthly spread. I have them all in the same spot for the whole year. So that actually has saved up a lot of room in my trackers double spread for every month. So now I have my mood tracker and my personal expenses tracker on one page, and then I have an entire page for my business expenses, which is perfect. I've honestly never looked back after trying having my habits trackers in one page. It's just saved me a lot of hassle as well for setting up a habits tracker every month. But yeah, I went in with my fountain pen and just added the titles to both these pages using that really cute ribbon font again. And it's a lot harder to do on a smaller scale, I found out very quickly, but it was still really, really fun. And then I use that same zero mild liner. It's the Mildline brush dual tip pen, and I'm using the grey one to add some of the lower, smaller titles to a lot of my spreads. And then once I had like the general gist of the page down, I obviously went in and added some cute little ribbon decorations, as well as some highlights with that grey brush pen I mentioned. And I also really like to do this when I do any sort of like charts or tables like these. I like to go in with my Tombow dual brush pen in this really light gray to highlight every other line on my tables so that I can really easily track them when I'm using them actually on the daily. And it also makes them look really, really cool, like an Excel spreadsheet. And once that was done, this page was ready to go. And the next page is probably, it became my favorite page from this whole spread, if I'm honest, because it looks so pretty. I went in and did my brain dump or like general notes page. I usually really make a lot of use out of this double spread every month. So I drew out my title. I just wrote notes over there at the top using that same font that we've been doing. Did some cute little shading with the fountain pen. And then did a really cute little ribbon border around the page so that it didn't look really empty and sad. So I did like a really cute ribbon frame, and that ended up looking really sweet. And I really, really enjoyed how this spread came out. I think it looked so cute, and I really want to do some sort of like illustration with these sort of ribbon borders as well. I think it looks so cute. But yeah, it was a really simple page design and it turned out so, so cute. And then obviously I added some sparkles into some of the emptier bits, as well as some sparkles with that gold pen that I told you about. And that was it. Super easy page, super cute and adorable. And we're on to our last page, which is the first weekly spread of the month. So I just started off by drawing out every rectangle for every day of this week, and I've been really enjoying this layout where it's like intercalated like different heights for the two different columns on both pages. I just think it adds a lot of like fun to just a simple 2-column spread for my weeklies. I think it looks really fun. I've been using this layout a lot. And after I drew those out, I added in the days of the month in that grey pen that I've been using. And then I added a little design like ribbon border at the top of each section for each day of the week. And this is where I'm going to be writing, obviously, the different days of the week, like Monday through Sunday. And this is kind of the design that I was envisioning for my weekly spread. But again, these sometimes change throughout the month if I feel more or less inspired or patient to do these designs every week. So it really depends. But for the first one, I always like to follow the theme really like concisely. So it looks really pretty. And then of course I went in and added that same ribbon font to my title over here on the right. It's my little like weekly to-do list. So usually where I'll write tasks that I know I need to get done that week, but I don't have like a day specifically for them yet. And of course, I added a little section at the bottom on the left here, where I'm going to be doing a mini monthly calendar and just writing the month of August as the title here. And later on, you'll see me draw out the calendar on like a really small scale. And this just keeps me on track of like where we are in the month, like what week in the month we're at. And yeah, it just keeps me like not lost. I added some little ribbon designs here and there to fill out some empty spaces around the page. And then I like to add a little like faint line to every segment for every day of the week so that I can separate my events from my tasks, and it keeps everything really organized. And then, of course, it was time to add in those final details like sparkles, would you believe? And the mini calendar that I mentioned earlier as well. I usually then highlight like what week it is, but I completely forgot to do this when I was filming this. But then I went straight into adding some details with that beautiful gold pen from Ohuhu. And that was pretty much it for this bullet journal session. I'm just going to give you a little flip through of what my spreads came out looking like. They're so cute. The theme is very, very pretty, and it came out exactly as I had envisioned it. So I'm really glad about that. And I'm very excited about the month of August. It's my birth month. It's always an exciting month. So I'm excited to be using it. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you'd like to see some more bullet journal videos like this with my fountain pens, and I hope you had a nice time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!